I'm Jordan Bishop, and today is Tuesday, February 16th at 11 p.m. Well, I usually introduce myself as a flight hacker because a lot of the things that I think about all day are to do with flights. I help people get cheaper international flights. What led me to Chiang Mai initially was I remember reading years ago in the 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss, the author, talks about a couple different places that he thought were really standout spots to be if you are an entrepreneur, if you're traveling, things like that. And the three that he mentions, I remember these like I was reading it today, were Buenos Aires, Argentina, Berlin, Germany, and here, Chiang Mai, Thailand. And so, for whatever reason, I mean, because he said it, and he said it so strongly, and with conviction, I just remember those three places as these are places I need to get to. And so being here in Asia and coming to Chiang Mai, I fell in love with it on my own immediately. So it was just such a natural fit. And just being in Asia, I love Asia as a whole, and being able to get to places so easily and cheaply. I mean, I'm lucky that I can do that in a lot of places around the world because I have a really deep understanding of flights and how to get from A to B really cheaply. But you don't even need that when you're here in Chiang Mai, right? You can get to so many amazing cities for under $100 and in under 3 or 4 hours. First dollar I made selling iPhone cases on Etsy. They were extremely minimal, like the most basic iPhone cases you can ever imagine. And basically, this might have been slightly outside of Etsy's terms of service, but I had a great supplier that I found on eBay that was making nice iPhone cases. I photographed them beautifully and wrote up a really nice description, and I sold them at a multiple, and people loved them. What did the dollar mean to me? It was so much. It just meant opportunity. It meant, you know, that the world was my oyster from that point forward, really. I worked on a Kickstarter project with a few friends of mine. There's some great stuff on Tim Ferriss's blog that you can read about Kickstarters, which features Soma Water, which was one of the really early successful Kickstarters. I mean, if I was going to launch a Kickstarter today, I would just look straight to that resource and probably just do everything verbatim. It's amazing. You know, I had just finished school, but I had also just got fired from the only job that I had. I didn't want to go into the corporate world because it just wasn't the right fit for me. And so I just really started thinking about, like, what are the things important to me? I guess it was the perfect platform for me to build the life that I wanted upon. And so I wanted a life of travel. I wanted to be able to move freely and experience new things. So I just booked a ticket and I left. I didn't have a business. I didn't have an idea. My first destination was here in Thailand, actually. I started a backpacking trip. And it was really just to open my eyes and my mind to a lot of different possibilities. And it totally did that. Once I left, I knew that moving back to Canada wasn't the right place for me, not necessarily because it's a bad place to be for anyone, it's definitely not, but just because if I was going to go back to that, it would be back to my old routines, back to my own frame of thought, and I needed to break out of that. And obviously, if you're on the fence of making a big decision, the life that you're living right now is probably not the optimal one. But if you continue living that life for the rest of your life, is it going to be one that you're satisfied with? A life that you're satisfied with? And if the answer to that question isn't an absolute definitive yes, then there's probably some sort of leap that you need to make. Maybe this isn't the right one. You know, this isn't for everybody, but there's probably some big change that you need to make. And the sooner that you can make that change, then the better your life is going to be for the years to come. 2 websites where you can look for the things that I'm doing. The first one is my flight hacking website for getting cheap international flights. That's called Your Oyster, which is spelled Y-O-R-E, oyster.com. And the second one, the publication featuring the world's most interesting travelers, is called How I Travel. Sean knows this one very well. You can find his profile on there as well. howitravel.co.
Awesome. Thank you very much, sir.
You got it.
Dude, I think that's going to be a great... All right, I hope you liked that interview with Jordan Bishop. Check out his website, howitravel.co, and you can check out my profile and the 5 items that I always bring traveling with me. And make sure to press subscribe to see my other interviews with digital nomads, my day in the life videos, and all my other tips and tricks about how to make money online and to travel the world. Leave your questions and comments down below for the content you do want to see. I'm in Hong Kong at the moment, going up the mid-level escalators. I want to know what kind of videos and questions and answers you guys want to hear. So leave them down below, press subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.